The nerds, I think, are pretty much ready, even though we are ahead of schedule. It's nice that they were paying attention and they were here early. We have a map order. We have apparently Equilibrium as first map. I'm not sure why GunGfu does not veto Equilibrium, but apparently he likes it. If he likes it, sure. Shout out to Roy SD01 for the 9 months, and earlier we had my man Amber Bon with 117 months, and Kempo Chess with 100 biddies. Thank you so much. Equilibrium, guys. Will Bruce Wayne get successful revenge for his fallen Zerg brother Young Yakov? A couple weeks ago it was a 3-0 in favor of GunGfu. GunGfu showed us that even though he's old, he absolutely still has it. The nerds are ready. I am ready. I think not vetoing Equilibrium is kind of crazy, by the way. This is a very difficult map, especially against somebody who knows how to macro. And with Vanya, I don't think we have to worry about him floating too many resources. He's going to spend every single penny he has on those mid-game units. I think this is going to be a tough one for GunGfu. At least game 1. Maybe game 2 a bit better, but game 1 will be tough. Perhaps he's got a special plan that he believes in. That's something that he hasn't really shown yet. Or that a lot of Protoss players haven't done yet. Let's do it. Main event of BASILISK Big Brain Bouts number 49. A PvZ once more, but a very high level one.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
Top left side. It is our German legend. The man who is made out of raw German steel and twisted sex appeal. As I like to call it. It is GunGFuBanDa. I believe he is teamless, by the way. So if any of you guys are looking for a handsome Protoss nerd, you know where to find one. I'm not talking about myself. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of our Russian Zerg, representing Starlight Twinkle. He was known as Vanya, became Reddita, and has settled for Wayne. We call him Bruce Wayne. He saw his pupil, J Money Magic, fall earlier today. Apparently Wayne has been coaching J Money for a little while. That was not good enough to get the dub, but it gave us some fun moments. GunGfu is one of these guys that is just always good in Starcraft. You know, he's gone for a couple months. You don't see him play a single game. Then he comes back and he's 6,400 MMR. That is freaking crazy. Because even if I take 2 days off, guys, I'm like, alright, the first 2 hours are going to be a nightmare, guys. Like, I'm not going to beat anybody within 300 MMR range of what I think my level is at. It really takes a little while for me to get going. And if I ever travel to an event like I am Katowice and then I come back, I just completely accept that the first few days, I'm like 600 MMR worse than what I was. Like, I know that that's what it is, but for GunGfu, that's just not the case. This man can take breaks, come back, and still be incredibly good. And always qualify for WCS Premier League. It is impressive. You thought it would be GunGfu? GunGfu is not eligible for Team Roddy, Benny. I don't know how old GunGfu is, but if I have to guess, I'd say he's like 28? Something among those lines, right? He is obviously a little bit younger than me, but he's way older than anybody we ever had on Team Roddy. Team Roddy has always been a passion project for the kids. It is not for old people. There's been plenty of great older players that deserve a team, but I cannot save the entire world. Team Roddy has always been a passion project for the youngsters. This is our last best of 5 of the night here. We are a bit ahead of schedule, so let's hope that we get a proper banger or 2 out of these guys. And if we still wrap up around 10, then I'm happy. Well, if any of you guys want to run a passion project for the elderly, you know, no one is stopping you. It is possible. I know that there was a time where Drogo had no team. And people were like, Roddy, pick up Drogo. And I'm like, guys, I love Drogo, but I can't do that. Why not take the gold as a third? I think that Wayne is worried that he's just going to lose too many drones if he does that. Worried about anything weird that GunGfu can throw at him. So he's just going to take it as his 4th base. It is a lot easier to defend 4 bases than it is to defend your original 3 bases. And he doesn't want to overly expose his drones. Probably was worried about oracles early on as well. And obviously then you have to worry about drones traveling from the natural and main all the way towards this center gold. Planning on making an 80 plus team once you hit 80 years old. I might be interested, mate. I mean, at this pace, we have been here since the beta and somewhere in 2010. Haven't gone anywhere. We're still going live with Starcraft pretty much every single day. Who is gonna tell me that I won't be playing this game when I'm 80? So, you know, maybe we'll sync up, Aston. When you're 80, I'm 80. We'll click a couple buttons together. And there's a very good chance that I'll still be building Phoenix. GunGfu, by the way, is going to try to make Roddy proud over here with Resonating Glaive Adept as an opening and double Stargate Phoenix as a follow-up. I will not claim too many things as my build, because I don't want to make it seem like I have a massive ego. But let's be honest, this kind of is the Roddy. I will very confidently say that there is no man or woman on this planet that has opened up Resonating Glaive Adept into double Stargate Phoenix more often than me. I will put my life on that. Wayne is building a lot of roaches early, and that's actually good news for GunGfu. He's also getting +1 air weapons. Now, if Wayne was checking with his Ling, if he was checking properly, he should know that that Cybercore is spitting. And if the Cybercore is spitting, there is a very good chance that it is double Stargate Phoenix as a follow-up, as the Lings have shown up, but obviously they cannot really get a cancel here. I would still be worried if I was GunGfu. Even if this has technically worked out for him so far, I would not be unhappy. I'd be worried about Queen Roach Nidus or just mass Ling Roach Ravager, maybe with Queens in a drop lord to the other side of the map. Like, that is very difficult to deal with, and that's why I like to add in the Dark Shrine. But obviously that's not totally relevant since GunGfu is not doing it. Cybercore will not get picked up. Bit of a donation here by Wayne. I mean, Zergling lives do absolutely matter. As the Phoenixes take a little sneak peek into the main, but there is a Spore Crawler there and triple Queen. A little too much to fly into. Hey Nate, now that I see you here, who's winning the Super Bowl? Who do you think got it? I think at this point, I'm on the Kansas City hype train. It feels like Mahomes always wins. Yes, Adapts will... Ooh, he actually could have not cancelled that, guys, because the Shade already finished up. That hatchery would have lived if he did not cancel it, but I understand the fear. I don't think any shots were mid-air. How about the Tempest Rush? I mean, there definitely was a one-base Tempest all-in that I absolutely came up with completely myself. But eventually people started doing it in different ways, and then it wasn't really my build anymore. As Phoenixes, by the way, with +1 air weapons, don't give a damn about Queens. Look at GunGfu. This is that raw German steel and twisted sex appeal I was talking about. This man just very casually killed 6 Queens, has only lost a single probe so far in this game. Honestly, GunGfu is kind of cooking. This is very well done. Wayne is on the other side of the map with a couple of roaches, a couple of links, but I kind of believe in Adapts with Glaive to clean this up. And if not, we can always recall the Phoenixes, but with all the gateways that are ready to warp in some units. Actually, a very strong start by GunGfu. 8 minutes in, I would say the revenge plan of Wayne not really working out. Look at the units lost resource tab, guys. This is a massacre. 175 resources against 2,800. 2 against 44 units lost. And obviously some of those units were links and whatnot, but those are serious numbers. But for the longest time, I thought that GunGFuBanDa was just a leather account he made. And I was like, he means Kung Fu Panda, right? But then he just stuck with GunGFuBanDa. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what it is. Hydra account is Hydra. And you cannot sleep on Hydras if there is no splash damage. We are gonna make our way into splash damage as Psystorm gets fired up. I wouldn't hate to see GunGfu Chrono Boost this. Hydra Lingbane is always going to be hard to deal with if you open up with this many Phoenixes. When is the Super Bowl? I actually think it's on the Sunday of Katowice. So we've got a very exciting weekend ahead of us. It's obviously not this Sunday, so I think it's the following Sunday. So we've got an entire Sunday of great Starcraft action over in Poland, and then the nerds can kick back, grab a couple beers, and get ready for the Super Bowl. Proper excited for that. Gamba is still open, but not for a whole lot longer. If you want to get any points on the line, you got to do it right here, right now. Because this is your absolute last chance. The longer that this game goes, the more I do like it for GunGFu, as obviously he's going to be able to enjoy that very rich Vespian geyser and the gold minerals over here as well. That's my little tribute to Ben. I don't know anything about who's performing in the Super Bowl, but if it's Usher, I actually really like Usher. There was one album that had the Moving Mountains song, and Love in This Club. I forgot the name of the album, but that's an album that I listened to a crazy amount, and I liked a lot of the songs. We have a couple of adepts with glaives, obviously, inside of the main base of Wayne, and Hydras have a hard time in small numbers dealing with adepts with glaives. Look at GunGFu. GunGFu is cooking. Playing an incredibly strong first game. I don't think this was the first game that Wayne had in mind. GunGFu does need to be careful, obviously, once he steps on creep, because there are, I want to say, banelings in the mix, but there are no banelings in the mix. But we have a baneling nest, and we have baneling speed. So we could get banelings in the mix soon, and if banelings connect with your High Templars, the rest of your Protoss army is kind of weak. That is a very early storm. It's kind of like a, hey, go away, storm, and he's like, I don't want any of that. But maybe it was a distraction maneuver, as we have Zealots in the natural, Zealots in the main. Now we're going to keep an eye once more on these Archons, High Templars, Immortals, as Wayne is just getting kind of better than everywhere. Everywhere, look, the lot of Zerg units dying. He has cleaned up the Zealots. We're going to drop an early storm, a second early storm, but I don't hate the early storms, because you want to get off creep as quickly as possible, as Banelings are trying to connect with the High Templars, but most of the storms have already been casted. Wayne does have a lurker then and hive tech. He is working on seismic spines. Gonna take quite some time before those lurkers will have all their dream upgrades. Gonna get a fleet beacon, and now we do get the Dark Shrine. I love this Dark Shrine. This is one of these safety Dark Shrines. You know, if your opponent attacks you and they haven't made Overseers all day, every day, there's a very small chance that they'll bring Overseers by the time they finally attack you. And even if they do, you've got all these Phoenixes left. And we are rich enough that a Dark Shrine is not going to slow us down at all on the side of GunGFu. This is playing a really good first game. Still got it. GunGFu absolutely still has it. Wayne has lost 5,000 resources more than GunGFu. There's a couple of Zealots here are move commanded, but eventually they will turn around and fight. Not sure what the Phoenix skill there, but I assume it was an Overlord. Maybe it was an Overseer. Wayne is actually supply blocked. I mean, we're gonna get carriers out. How high is the Hydra count? 18. This is such a strong first game by GunGFu. If there was going to be a trio in this series, I really thought it was going to be Wayne, 3-0, and GunGFu. Because he's been the more active player. He has played in more tournaments. He has looked fantastic more recently than GunGFu. Like, GunGFu beating Young Jacob is awesome. That's impressive. But that doesn't mean that you can normally hang with somebody like Wayne. You need more than that, and well, he's absolutely giving us more. Young Jacob is good, but Wayne is fantastic. But apparently GunGFu is everything. An incredibly clean game by GunGFu, as he's now lifting changelings. And okay, well, just when we said it was incredibly clean, he did that, but that was just a bit of Phoenix energy, and that's not all that important. We do have Vipers in the mix, though. There is a world, guys, where despite all the great things that GunGFu has done, Wayne gets an amazing fight with Lurkers and Vipers. The Lurker count is pretty damn high. If I was GunGFu, I would just slowly but steady throw away some ground units. But yeah, he basically only has high tier ground units, so you don't really throw these away. You can get rid of the Stalkers, I guess. Phoenixes could lift some Lurkers. Phoenix count is 9, Lurker count is 14. And the lot of Hydra still in the mix. Nice storm. Tiny counterattack. The tiniest of tiny counterattacks. 5 Zerglings as the Phoenixes say, alright, let's go ahead and dive into one of these new bases then. Parasitic Bomb has been dropped, and I used to say it's so hard to split off your Phoenix and figure out which Phoenix has Parasitic Bomb. I gotta say, this is not the best anti-parabomb. Oh my god, GunGfu. Not the best anti-parabomb play that I've ever seen. But it also took me like 3.5 years to get remotely decent in splitting off Phoenixes against parabomb. We left behind a couple of Stalkers here as a scouting tool, I guess. As we now have Phoenixes just shipping away at Overlords in the main. Phoenix are about to get +2 and they kill Overlords so quick once you have +2. I'm gonna need a couple of big storms here, my friend, or maybe a feedback, but I think storms are already very nice. 1 or 2 blinding clouds not going to be good enough. 1 immortal did get abducted. GunGfu definitely is a tiny bit trigger happy with some of the storms. He's rich, he can afford it. Phoenixes are about to fly headfirst into all the Hydras. Will they kill a Viper? Yes. That is a big donation, but I also do think that the era of the Phoenix is kind of gone once Vipers are out. I don't know if I would have lost all 6 Phoenix like that, but you know, at least he got a Viper for it. At this point, we don't want Phoenixes anymore. We want Carriers and Disruptors, Colossus, more High Templars, that kind of jazz. Hello? Lurkers are standing right next to the entire Protoss army. Immortals could have killed it. Very important that we have an observer here, and GunGfu's got multiple observers. One abduct is going to land on the Immortal, but Wayne needs more than a single abduct. Careful with the High Templars there. Lings are pretty good at the moment. Carrier gets abducted. GunGfu having a hard time closing this game out. We asked for bangers. They are giving us the bangers. Now the High Templars with Storm lead the charge and Lurkers obliterate them. GunGfu, mate. He's rich, so he can afford a mistake or two. But we can't keep on doing that. He's now going to circle towards the top side of this massive Zerg concave. The Immortals are going to get in range of the Lurkers, and I think Carriers, Archons, and Immortals will still be good enough here. This was not super pretty. Stop with the High Templars as one more High Templar does fall. I think there's no high ground vision here, guys. No high ground vision for the Lurkers, so they can't actually fire. Unlucky. Wait, who just gave me a sub? There's a very good chance that it was Basilisk, as they have gifted out 30 subs so far tonight. There's also a small chance that it was Winter, or I don't know if anybody else gifted out some subs. But I would say 97% certain it's probably Basilisk, but you can check that yourself. If you go to your subscriptions tab on Twitch, there is one that says gifted subs, and you can see to which channel you got a sub gifted to and who gifted it to you. The upgrades of GunGfu's army are proper sick, as +3 air weapons are about to kick in as well. The carrier count is incredibly high. Even if the last 2 minutes were not quite as clean as the first 12, I still think that GunGfu can just A-move Wayne. With +3 carriers and only Hydras to worry about as anti-air, I think you can A-move. Can we... This is not A-moving. I don't know what we are doing with High Templars ever since Lurkers came out, but... It's like we went from very good High Templar control to... Let's run them in and lead the charge. He's looking for a feedback or a storm. And he did drop a revelation, so he knows where the army is at. Lurkers are now chasing. Carrier's gonna turn around and fight. Time Warp will be sick here too, by the way. Nice feedbacks on the Vipers. Yeah, let the carriers fight. I think right now you take your hands off the keyboard, you let the carriers fight, and carriers will do their thing and should be able to bring this game home for our Protoss. Doesn't really matter how many Lurkers there are left, please just A-move with your carriers. Because now, if you're move commanding, right-clicking, a lot of the carriers won't deploy their interceptors. It is important to get those interceptors out, and once those interceptors are out, Hydras will melt. Wayne never had the economy to go for Corruptus. GG gets called. GunGFuBanDa takes the 1-0 lead. That was honestly a sick first game. Incredibly clean. Especially in the beginning. We dropped a tiny bit against the Lurkers at a certain point, but that final fight was good. He indeed never built a DT, but it doesn't mean that it's bad to get a Dark Shrine. Like, if you're a 4-base Protoss, you should honestly always have a Dark Shrine in every matchup. There's just no reason not to have it. It can make your life easier. Such a tiny investment that there is absolutely no reason not to get a Dark Shrine. Did I see Ferrari's new driver in 2025? Of course I did, mate. It was very hard to miss. If you like Formula 1 and you stay up to date, that was incredibly hard to miss. It is all that everybody has been talking about. Thank you to Zombium for gifting us up to Flash_X. Welcome, Flash. Thank you, Zombium. The love is in the air. It's Friday night, isn't it, guys? I feel like you guys are always on your best behavior on Friday night. Because during the weekend it all goes wrong, but on Friday night everyone is sweet. Foucault's Pendulum with the 5 gifted subbies. As I said, love is in the air. Even I heard of it and I couldn't care less about F1. Yeah, this was one of these stories that whether you follow F1 or not, it's gonna be in your face. Alright. Round 2. Surprising start to our main event of the evening, but I don't hate it at all.
Round 2. Fight!
So far, the plan to avenge young Yakov is not really going according to plan. Let's see if we can turn things around here on Oceanborn. Representing Starlight Twinkle, this is Bruce Wayne, aka Vanya, aka RotterdaM. Top left side of Oceanborn, we are looking at the main base of the teamless raw German steel and twisted sex appeal Protoss from Deutschland. It's GunGFuBanDa. He's got it all, guys. I never forget hanging out with GunGfu once in Ukraine a long time ago for one of the WCS events we had over there. That was fun. GunGfu had a great time. He was very happy. Memorable evenings with the gaming nerds. Goedenavond, meneer. GunGfu is going to scout. He will see that the hatchery has been taken. Gas actually somewhat early. 110 gas while taking your natural. If I was GunGfu and I would have seen the exact moment that this gas went down, I would have been like, maybe I need to worry about something funky here in the early game. I don't think it's going to happen. But it would definitely scare me a tiny bit. Even though it is somewhat standard. Most of the time when they take their natural and they don't have to take the third because you didn't block it, they will delay that gas to 112, sometimes 118. In a few seconds may not be like a big deal, but think of 20 Zerglings ready to nibble away at this wall off when you only have one unit out. Then 2 or 3 seconds makes a very big difference. But I don't think that Wayne is going to do anything too weird here. Just something to keep in mind for your ladder adventures. If any of you guys are still hungry nerds out there that want to win some MMR over the weekend. I have my second ever official padel match on Sunday. The first one I ever played, I got absolutely wrecked. I think A, I had a bad teammate. B, I stayed up all night to cast an American qualifier. It was a terrible idea by me. Turns out that casting till 5 AM and playing padel at 9 is pretty difficult. I tried, it did not go well. But then the biggest problem of all of it is that I legit ran into the wall. And I think I broke my toe. Or at least I severely injured it for a while, and it was all purple and black. So that was a bit of a disaster. This Sunday we're gonna try again. And I'm ready. I feel like I'm in great shape. I've played like 7 hours this week. I'm kind of flying, I'm good. It will obviously all depend on how good my opponents are, but I'm gonna play with my brother's wife, which is very fun. I think she likes playing with me because I get less angry than my big brother does. Her husband. We're in the mood. How many bits for a sponsor spot on your racket? Never thought about that, Bruno. Thank you so much, mate, for the 300 buckies. I mean, I like my racket. It's beautiful. I don't know. Never thought about it because I don't think I will ever see the day that somebody wants to give me money to sponsor my padel racket. There's always a chance. Never say never. First Oracle is out, a second Oracle is on the way. What MMR, Padel? If I would translate my Padel MMR to Starcraft terms, right, where the best Padel players in the world are 7k and then really good Padel players are 6k, I think I'm like 3.8k or something. Like, I'm not absolutely terrible, but I'm pretty damn bad. But I'm doing my best, guys. I've never played a racket sport in my life. So, I'd say like 3.8k. Maybe 4k? You guys can Google it. If you just type in Padel highlights on YouTube, you'll see immediately what Padel is. Imagine tennis in a cage. And in case you guys say, but that's racquetball. No, because racquetball there is a wall in the middle. This is basically a tennis in a cage where you can use the balls. It's a mix between tennis and squash, or tennis and racquetball, yes. It's very popular in the Netherlands at the moment. I've been playing it for almost a year now, and I absolutely love it. But we'll talk about that on a different day, guys, because we are watching the main event of the evening. I know I'm the one who started it. I take full responsibility. I just wanted to share my excitement. We have adepts with oracles. The oracles are going to dive into the third. They kill 4 drones rather quickly. They are not done yet, though. They're going to zap down a few more drones in the main. That's 8 drones in total. So GunGFu takes a 12 worker lead 6 minutes into this second game. So already taking the 1-0 lead earlier. And these Lings are going to take a bad fight against all of these adepts with Resident Enclave. Wayne needs to stop building drones. I know he wants to recover. But Wayne needs Banelings right now. He needs Banelings, Lings, and Queens. Best case scenario, guys, is GunGFu shades forward and Wayne is right there to capitalize on it and get on top of all these. And that's cool, by the way. I think GunGFu uses Jeff. I'm happy. All of these adepts are here. I would cancel the shade. He's not going to cancel the shade, but the Banelings are here. Actually, very good splits, though. Man, that was so good. That was last moment. I thought that the Banelings was going to blow up everything. But the Banes were kind of stuck behind the Lings here. So only a couple of Banes came in from the right. And Wayne is just in all sorts of trouble because so many adepts are still alive. And these adepts won't get cleaned up anytime soon, but just a couple Lings. Even if these Lings get +1 melee, do get the wraparound, so that's obviously a lot better. +1 melee Zerglings. Oracles think of helping out, but there's a sport crawler here. Good cleanup there in the end, but he's down so many freaking workers. Down 17 workers in a 7-minute game. That is incredibly painful. I don't think that Wayne ever expected GunGFu to let this shade finish up, because they went past the Banelings. And if all 7 Banelings would have came in from the left side of the hatch and connect with the adepts, I think the adepts would have died very quick. But some adepts were on the left, some adepts were in the middle line, and they were blocked by the Zerglings, which is painful. Means that Wayne is in trouble. GunGFu is gearing up for a 3-base follow-up. We've got some Archons, we've got Immortals on the production tab, and we've got Zealots with charge. And after losing that many workers, 14 so far, actually only lost 6, but he obviously lost 76 Lings and lost mining time, which this graph is going to show you guys as well. Dealing with this follow-up is not going to be easy. It is possible, but it's not going to be easy. Triple Archon, double Oracle. GunGFu is throwing down a Revelation and he's wondering, should I go for it or not? Wayne is about to counterattack on the 4th base. I mean, that's cute and all, but do you have enough units at home? He's not going to bring those units back to maybe get a surround. Fighting these Archons is going to be difficult. The Oracles are just zapping away at the drones on the top right side. 14 drones have died. What have we got over here? 2 Adepts with glaives killing drones as well. Everywhere we look, GunGFuBanDa is destroying Zerg units. And he's about to go 5-0 in the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. It's his first ever appearance. He got a 3-0 victory over Young Yakov. Right after that series was played, Wayne DM'd me and he said, Roddy, let me play GunGFu. I want to get revenge for Young Yakov. Well, that plan ain't working out all that well so far, as this game is just all over. GG gets called. GunGFu absolutely flying. What on earth is happening? I did not expect GunGFu to take such an impressive 2-0 lead. What is this, like 25 minutes into, well, 30 minutes into the main event? Man is a legend. Reynor against GunGFu next. Sure. Let's do it. Shout out to Weibo as well for the 500 bits. I didn't see those. I expect a signing video like the one HP got for Real Madrid. I did not see that one, so I don't know if that's funny or not, or if it was a good video or not. I did see the boxing trailer or promo between Usyk and Tyson Fury. Yes, between Fury and Usyk. That trailer is amazing. I posted it in the Discord. They did such a good job. They combined so many different universes, like superheroes, sci-fi, anime, like pirate stuff. Such an amazing trailer. The trailer is amazing, but the fight is off already. What? No, I didn't know. I did not know. That trailer is amazing. Whether you like boxing or not, guys, I posted it in the Just Chatting section, I believe, of my Discord. It is an amazing top-tier trailer. Didn't GunGFu beat Clem at 2 DreamHacks ago? GunGFu did beat Clem, yes, but that is a very long time ago. It was a very big surprise back then because he was the underdog, but I have no idea why that would matter right now. Are you saying that it's normal that GunGFuBanDa is beating Wayne because he beat Clem 2 years ago? I mean, that just makes no sense to me at all. I feel like that is those things are completely unrelated. Well, whatever you do in 2022 does not matter in 2024 in a different matchup. It's like, yeah. I mean, he beat Clem, guys, on, what is that, February? No. On the 2nd of October in 2022. 2-1. But I don't know if that really matters. A lot of O2s in there as well, by the way. Not that I'm paying attention. So. But he's playing incredibly good so far. And just seems to be a PvZ animal. And he said he's weak in PvZ. Is it true MC the Bastos is going to come out of retirement? I don't think that's true at all. I've not heard anything about that, and even if he does that, it is going to be incredibly difficult. We saw MC play last summer, and he definitely looked good in the Legends tournament. And I would say that MC is still like a 6,000 plus MMR player as well. But even if MC would do his absolute best right now, he's not gonna be just like the new Protoss hope or anything. People really underestimate how incredibly high the level is of guys like MaxPax, Clem, Reynor, Maru. These guys are playing at an absurdly high level. And your heroes of the past, I'm sorry, but they're gonna really struggle to even get close to that. I think MC was last active maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, but he did win the Saudi Legends tournament last summer, so that's when we saw him. I think he came back at one point where he was like, I'm gonna become a streamer, and he streamed for a little while. And then it turns out that streaming is not as easy as what a lot of you guys think it is, and he quit real quick. Yeah, I mentioned the Legends tournament. Alright guys, surprising turn of events so far in the grand finals. So let's see if things will turn around.
Round 3. Fight!
Top left side of site Delta. We are looking at the main base of the man who dropped the gauntlet. He said, GunGFu, I want you. Well, that's not really working out so far, is it? Can we turn things around? He has been a legend in the Big Brain Bouts. He has surprised us time and time again. Let's see if we can go for the reverse sweep. Starlight twinkles Wayne. The man previously known as Vanya and Reddita. Bottom right side of site Delta. We are looking at the main base of GunGFuBanDa. 2-0. Raw German steel. Twisted sex appeal. You guys know it. This man has the best record in Big Brain Bouts history, by the way. Not even Serral, Reynor, or Clem have a record as good as GunGFu. That man has played 5 maps and he has won all 5. It's actually insane. 3-0 Young Yakov. And now 2-0 up. Against the bigger and better version of a Russian Zerg. I remember he did not vibe with the streaming. I think he vibed a little bit. Look at Wayne, by the way. Crazy opening. Hatch in his own natural and sends a drone to the other side of the map to also hatch block GunGfu. So hatch before pool. I hope that we know what we're doing, because there are some moments where we're going to take crazy damage at home here. But I don't hate it. So far I would say so good for Wayne. As long as... Hey, GunGfu, what is he going to do? Build a second Scarlett or not? Yes, he is. I think a lot of big names, when they stream for the first time or the second time, they get a very warm welcome. They get a Reddit thread, they get love, they get hype, everybody stops by, and it's like, oh, this is awesome. And the bits and donos and subs fly by their ears, but if you then go live for the 20th time in the same month, people are like, alright, thanks for streaming. Have a good day. It's like, hey, where did all the initial hype and love go? That is why a lot of people kind of start streaming and quit streaming. Double Zealot Adapt. One drone is going to fall. I'm not saying nobody does Young Poke Gamer, because if nobody did, then I wouldn't be here, right? And Wardy wouldn't still be there, and Artosis wouldn't be streaming. Of course people do. It's just that it's not as easy as it looks. But of course you can make money streaming. It'd be very weird if I sit here after doing this full time for 10 years. Be like, yeah, you can do it, guys. Like, no, of course you can. It is just that it's a journey with a lot of ups and downs. And it's not always easy to handle those ups and downs. We have two slow Zealots and an Adept on the other side of the map. A couple of the slow links die, but so far I don't really hate this for Wayne, as long as we don't end up losing a queen. I don't think he's in danger of losing a queen. Yeah, but I think those numbers though, Bully, like that doesn't mean that much, right? Because obviously they take into consideration anybody that has ever streamed, I guess. And we know that obviously a crazy amount of people have tried streaming once and then quit, or twice. Yeah, it also, like, I think if you have more than 3 viewers, you are already in the top 1% of watch channels on Twitch. Most 99% of the channels have 0, 1 or 2 viewers, so. But I think those numbers doesn't mean that much, because you don't really know how serious the channels that even went live took it, or if they're even real channels, right? What if they just run a couple videos and they're not even there? Oracle with Pilzabeam is going to eventually find its way through this spore, but Wayne is paying attention, cancels it, rebuilds it immediately. I would say pretty good start by Wayne, guys. Out of the 3 games so far, I would say by far and away the best start. The Adepts explode because this is an Adept skin. It's like, or at least there are some Adepts that have that. Maybe all Adepts do, I don't even know. I don't put a lot of thought into the unit death animations. I just know when units are good and not good, and when there is potential. But I do believe that different skins have different animations of dying. Yeah, Purifier skin, yeah. Kinda missed the message, by the way, and there's something about second channel starting all over again. I love my second channel, it's fun. And eventually we're gonna have some great content at it. A friend of mine gets about 30 viewers, makes 200 to 300 bucks a month. It's just for fun. That's completely possible, and obviously that's very good. But there are also people who get 30 viewers and will make 20 bucks a month. It all depends on how generous those 30 viewers are, right? Like, you can have 30 viewers and make 5k a month. If you have 2 people out there that love you to bits and they're just like, here you go, make it rain. The viewer count does not really have any direct correlation to how much money you make. Lots of games with streamers get hundreds of viewers and not much income. Yeah, absolutely. It all, that's all. You cannot say that it's always like this or always like that. It's all circumstantial. Depends who's watching, where they're watching from, how many gifted subs, etc, etc, etc. It's going to be different for everyone. There are some averages you can go by, but there will be massive outliers. And I think if you're a man, 30 viewers, $300 a month, I would say that he is doing pretty good. He'll probably do better than most other streamers with 30 viewers. If your viewer count is 30, Bruno, absolutely, because there is barely any ad revenue. I think on January I had my highest ever, like, average, or at least highest average I've had in an incredibly long time, and the ad revenue would not be enough to live from. Like, it's less than rent. So if I had the same viewership in December, it would have been awesome, or in November, but in January streamed for over 100 hours, and I think like maybe 120 hours. I averaged over 1,500 viewers, so it was an incredibly good month, and I did not make even rent. So. Ad rev is good sometimes. There were days in December where it was awesome, and when they changed the ooh, that's Zealot, by the way. I was wondering if it was in the right spot or not, but it is. There was a small period where the ad revenue was absolutely insane, but then Twitch changed the way they went about ad revenue again. Anyway, guys, enough about that. Wayne, I think overall had a good start. We are 8 minutes in. We're going up to 4 bases. GunGfu is down 5 workers. He's going into pretty quick double robo way. That's awesome. However, the man who's down 0-2 is going for a pretty quick hive. I think on Equilibrium, even though he was very far behind, we could kind of see that hive tech Wayne has potential. And I think if we are just going to sit back and piss chill, to quote Reynor, I think that this game does favor Wayne. What is the worst and best parts of streaming casting? It's a long story. If you ask me that on a different day, mate, I'll gladly go into the nitty-gritty of the life as a streamer. I think the best thing is the freedom. Like, I can kind of make my own schedule in general. I can go live whenever I want. I don't have to wake up crazy early. I don't have a commute. I would say that's the best part. Roaches and links, and obviously doing what you love. And slow bay links blow up a lot of probes. Wayne does need to be careful, by the way, that he doesn't throw away too many units. These stalkers can blink forward, and if they do, they get on top of the roaches. Not a bad attack, but I don't know if I would really call it a massive success. As he now turns around, but there's so many oracles here in the mix. The Zerglings around is good, and a few stalkers may die here, but Wayne is honestly running very low on units. I don't know about like going up to Hive and then throwing away that many units right before Hive Tech really comes into play. There is now a Colossus in the mix, and that one Colossus is actually a problem for all these links. Wayne is immediately going to fire up a Viper. 77 drones is not a crazy high drone count. He's going to make 4 more. And then I think it's better. The bad part is no paid vacations. Or bonuses. Nah. I mean, we can talk about that stuff for hours. There's a lot of ups and downs. Overall, I'm very happy with my life. There are definitely some moments where I turn off my stream and I'm unhappy and I'm kind of fuming. But you know, it's a roller coaster. Ups and downs, it's all part of life. I think it's also nice and like not every day is a day that feels amazing. Because if it always feels amazing, then you get very used to that and maybe you kind of become numb to it. I don't really hate the ups and downs. It's kind of part of it. GunGfu is going to warp in a Templar Archives. And that is going to give him the possibility to warp in some High Templars. Wayne should not attack yet, by the way. He's broke as a joke. And he's not maxed out yet. And we have so many big upgrades on the way. Like, even if I don't like this attack at all, why don't you wait? He's looking for abducts, but there are so many stasis traps. These adepts, I mean, these stasis traps are awesome. Can the banelings and the lings and the roaches make the difference then, as the Colossus are obviously incredibly exposed? The first one has gone down, the second one has gone down, and even that third Colossus is in a bit of a pickle. A couple of the Stalkers are very low. We are about to have a couple of extra units. I mean, this attack was as big of an anti-timing as it could have been. It's kind of decent, but at the same time, he's also taking economic damage at home from a War Prism and 4 Zealots. And now Wayne is just going to send everything he has to the other side of the map. Now +2 melee is done, and obviously Adrenal Gland's finished up. He's going to go with +2 missile attacks as well. Still down 12 workers at the moment, though. Do we have any queens left, guys? 3. 1, 2, 3 queens. Parabomb. That's anti-air, guys. We're gonna need more energy. Look at the buff Viper. Oh my god, it's so buff. Who the hell thought buffing the Viper was a good idea? I see no damage at all in this hive. No damage. Nada. Unbelievable scenes. The Cabal has done it again. Lynx and Roaches trying to run into Archons, but... No, I'm not sure if that's gonna be... This is not a very good fight either, is it? I really question if this is a good fight. There are 4 Archons in the front line. Battery Overcharge is doing its thing. 3 out of 4 Archons have fallen. But obviously Wayne loses every single Zergling he had, and he's still down in workers. Now he's gonna turn around and he's gonna try to kill the Immortal that he cannot kill. Because the Battery Overcharge, it wasn't good to begin with. After that final Immortal chase, I would turn not good, put a big fat red line through it and say, that was awful. Wayne is in trouble. Not often do you have one man challenging another man and then getting 3-0'd. GunGFu had no real desire to play Wayne. Wayne wanted to play GunGFu. He said he was ready. He wanted to give you guys another good show. Lynx will get a kill on the Nexus. That is big. Okay. Guys, back-to-back kills. That's like 500 minerals down the drain right there, so that's pretty good. Zealot's getting dropped in the main though. Do we have an answer for some Vipers? I don't know what these Roaches think they're gonna do, but that's the wrong neighborhood. They're gonna turn around immediately. We have Vipers. What are we gonna do? We're gonna abduct an Immortal. That's the play. The one Viper has died. Stalkers blink forward. Oracle dies to Ravages, but I mean, there's so much action right now. There are Zealots in the bottom left side. All hell is breaking loose. We have a leftover Zealot over here. We got a big Zealot warp in the main. As the Ravagers still trying to do their thing. But Wayne is just running out of money. He has made 1 or 2 incredibly questionable attacks. GunGFu has always had a strong economy. And even if an Archon may die or a couple of Immortals will die, it's okay. Because look at them Zealots. That hive that was already softened up by the buff Viper is going to fall. And no hive, what on earth are you gonna do against a Protoss that's on 5 bases, double Robo, can warp in High Templars? I think it's over, guys. I actually think this one is over. Sick. GunGFu is just the ultimate boss of the Big Brain Bouts. Earlier you guys said give him Reynor, buddy. I mean, I may have to. 2 weeks ago, GunGFu reached out and said, hey Roddy, I've been playing some Starcraft again. You want to invite me to the Big Brain Bouts? I was like, alright, you know, the old man is probably not as good as he once upon a time was. We'll give him young Yakov, one of the hottest up-and-coming Zergs in the European scene. Probably the 6th or 7th best Zerg in Europe. GunGFu 130 gets challenged by Wayne. Says, I don't like PvZ, but sure, I'll do my best. I'll accept. And he wins 3-0. GunGFu is a legend. An absolute baller. Wayne probably wondering, like, what just happened in this best of 5? Well, this kind of went real quick, huh? Started off with a couple of adepts. A lot of adepts on... Well, obviously we had Equilibrium as well. The Adepts did good damage, the Oracles did good damage. Actually, the Phoenixes, excuse me, the Oracles did damage in the 2nd game. And in the 3rd. What a game. First game, double Twilight, double Stargate. Perhaps it kind of rattled Wayne a little. He was just not able to focus properly. We do have some Banelings connecting with the front line of this Protoss army, but GunGFu can reinforce 4 days. He can make very powerful high HP units. He's got all the access to any splash damage he can think of. Colossus, Disruptors, High Templars. And that is going to do it. It's unreal, but GunGFuBanDa. 3-0's Wayne. That is not the 3-0 that I thought we were going to see. I thought if this was a 3-0, it would have been 3-0 in favor of Wayne. As Wayne quite often even takes out the likes of ShoWTime and whatnot in Wardy tournaments or other qualifiers out there. A convincing 3-0. I am incredibly impressed by GunGFu. That is, out of the 6 possible outcomes that we had, This was probably the least likely for me. It is a 3-0. That makes me sad. I don't want to give you guys any 3-0s, but I am incredibly impressed by GunGfu. Well deserved. He gets $150 for winning this edition of the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts. Vanya will still get $50 for playing in the main event. That is wild. I want to see what you guys voted for, by the way. I know the prediction was still open in game 1 for a while GunGfu was looking good, but... Alright, you guys did think in the end. I mean, probably some cheaters in there, right? Because GunGfu was winning game 1. That GunGfu was going to win 58%. I honestly, even after that 1-0 lead, I would be like, but Wayne is Wayne. Benny always with the massive bet towards the end. Trying to see who's winning game 1. Fun night. Fun night of games. As Lambo wants to 1v1 me. You want to do that right now, mate? I don't know if I want to do that right now. I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day. I woke up incredibly early. I had to get a haircut. As you guys can see, I'm looking fresh again. If you really want to play me right now, I think we can do that. I believe you, Benny. I was just teasing, mate. Thank you. Texas is gone, by the way, for the 94 months. I have not played in a long time, no? Okay. Alright, in that case, I think we can just go ahead and wrap it up. Big shout out, guys, obviously to Basilisk for allowing us to run another edition of the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts. There is no BBB next Friday because, of course, all of us are going to be in Poland and we are going to cast some beautiful video games in Katowice. Are we going to do something special for number 50? I don't know. We'll see. I'll discuss it with the team and I'll see what's possible. But the earliest that would ever happen would be the 16th, because obviously the 9th is busy. This is the IEM weekend, so the earliest that this could possibly happen, it would be the 16th of February. When am I heading out? I'm heading out on Tuesday. Have fun there. I hope to see a lot of you guys in Poland, and obviously if you're there, never be shy. If you see me, just say hi to me. Just be like, Roddy, I don't know if this is a bad moment, but you told me just to say hi. Always say hi. We have a lot of free time at these events, and I look forward to meeting all of you. It's fun. It's part of the job, and it makes me happy. Just a vacation trip to Poland for the food? Yes, I'm traveling for pierogies, and I'm going home again. That's what I do.